again. Hope everyone is doing well. Today is episode 6 of the top 10 highest selling AFL rookie card series. This week is ending the 23rd of October 2022. So just like last week, I'm going to be doing the top 5 Optimum 2022 sales and then the top 5 other sales, just because Optimum sales are still dominating eBay at the time being. Before I get into the top 10, I'm going to be doing my weekly eBay data report. This week, the dollar value of sales was $209,844. That was down nearly 100k from last week, which is understandable just because the release came out last week, so there was obviously higher activity. 200 grand is still pretty elevated compared to the weekly average from the past year. And there were 3,659 single transactions compared to 4,171 last week. So there wasn't as much a drop off in transactions. So there's still lots of movement, but the prices have definitely dropped from last week. Enough of that for now, and into the top 10. In 5th place of the Optimum list, we've got Josh Gibcus and his Platinum DPS from 2022 Optimum. This one is numbered 30 out of 40 and sold for $607. We had this card on the list last week and it sold for $707, so a clean $100 decrease from last week. Not too surprising, seeing as things always come out the gate high, but gosh, that's gotta hurt, losing $100 in 1 week. Next, in 4th place, we've got Nick Dacos and his gold DPS. This one is numbered 11 out of 85 and sold for $728. The next two on the list are both gold DPSs as well. I may as well run through those while we're at it. The next one sold for $766. That was numbered 78 out of 85. And the next one sold for $800, numbered 25. So that $750 to $800 mark has kind of seemed to strengthen in this week. I did see a couple of transactions going into next week which saw a bit of a drop, I think, but both in the gold, bronze, and maybe even the platinum. I don't think I saw any platinum actually, so we'll have to wait until next week, but at the time being it seems that this is market value for the gold DPS for Nick Dacos. And that leaves us in number 1 spot with Nick Dacos again, his platinum DPS, numbered 30 out of 40. This one sold for $2,200. And you guys know how I feel about this platinum DPS price. It's actually even higher than last week. So yeah, I don't have to say a huge amount more on that, but it is an amazing sale. I think it's the highest ever sale of a draft pick signature that isn't, or just a rookie card in general as well, that isn't graded or isn't a special number being number 1 or Guernsey numbered. So yeah, quite an unbelievable sale. Before we get into the next top 5, just for transparency's sake, because you might see cards I don't pick up on this list, and that's because I look for the terms select draft and select rookie when compiling the list. So I may miss certain ones if they're not described in that way. And that goes the same for the weekly sales data at the start. I put in AFL select, so it could be picking up stuff that isn't footy cards, but at the same time it's also missing stuff that should be in the list. So don't take this as gospel, but it is a pretty good indication. So moving into the other section now, in 5th spot we've got Corey Durden and his Supremacy Rookie out of 25 from 2021 Supremacy Rookie. This one sold for $219. Corey Durden, I did a bit of searching. I'm not too familiar with him, but seems to be a small forward that plays for Carlton. Got a game every week in 2022, so they must like him. As I think I've mentioned in previous weeks, these cards look awesome in my opinion, and being numbered out of 25 will really help going forward, especially if the players turn out. And even if they're role players like Corey Durden, it's going to be really cool to watch him play and owning this card at the same time. Moving into number 4, we've got Tom Powell with the same card, the Supremacy Rookie out of 25. from 2021. And this one sold for $235. Tom Powell, he probably has a bit more upside potential than Corey Durden from my knowledge of him. I did see Butters actually pick one of these cards up this week from his video, so I'd be interested to know whether this was the one he bought. But other than that, pretty much the same as the last card. Love the design, and the 25 definitely helps a lot. In third place, we've got Jimmy Bartell and his gold DPS from 2002 SPX. This one sold for $234. This is the same set as the Chris Judd I mentioned last week, the gold version. So this is Jimmy Bartell's best rookie card, numbered out of 225 this release. Jimmy Bartell, Brownlow medalist, probably gets forgotten in with the names of the other people from his team, even being Gary Ablett being the big one. But he was a top tier player for at least a few years. Didn't quite make it into that high level Hall of Famer status, but he probably will actually make the Hall of Fame at some stage. He'll just, in my mind at least, be slotting more into that low to mid tier Hall of Fame player. The prospects of this card are interesting to me because, like I said, his career is kind of on that line between all-time great and a club great. So I'll be looking with a keen eye in the future as to how this card travels. In number 2 spot, we've got Tyler Brockman and his Supremacy rookie out of 25. We've seen 3 of these this week now from 2021. This one sold for $264. Tyler Brockman, I know he jumps off 2 feet, and that's about it. But yeah, it seems like people have the same idea as me and think these cards look great. Moving on to number 1 for this week, and it is Marcus Bontempelli's DPS from 2014 Honours 1. This one is numbered out of 400, and it sold for $329 this week. This card's actually been number 1 on the list before. That week it sold for $367, and that was 2 weeks ago. So since then it's gone down $40, which is a tad surprising to me. I think this is showing decent value at the time being, and if it falls any further, I think even I would be interested in picking up this card. Definitely if it got down to $250, I think that would be an amazing deal. But Bontempelli, I think he's the front runner for the Brownlow this year. I'm not sure what Sportsbet is saying, but you can't really count him out, and I would bet that he is going to have a huge 2023. So that's the list for this week. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.